Welcome back to a new video. Here we are looking at MRIN, because today has been a relatively bad day for MRIN. We can see that it's down by about 11% today, so really things are moving down by a really big amount, but honestly when we look at the past 5 days I do not believe it is such a big deal, and of course there are a few other reasons why I think that this isn't the worst thing in the world. Of course that is only my opinion, but we are going to be speaking about why I believe this in this video. If you may enjoy that, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. But do remember guys, this is not, and I must repeat, not financial advice. I do believe the stock is extremely risky and I think you guys should be informed and aware of the risks. Do not listen to me, it's just my personal opinion, and of course I can be wrong as well as right, so do your own research and do what you feel comfortable with. But now that I have said that, let's jump into the video and look at MRIN on the day chart. So we're going to start off out here on the 1 day chart. I want to look at the sell-off that we have been seeing, and I also want to look at the markets as a whole. We'll do that first. We'll have a look at the markets as a whole. You guys will know that just a few moments ago on YouTube I uploaded a few YouTube shorts, so you can of course have a look through those if you want to. They're of course less than 60 seconds each. But yeah, right now I just want to speak briefly on the motions that we have been seeing on the market today. S&P 500 down by over 2%, Dow Jones down by over 1.5%, the Nasdaq down by almost 3%, and the Russell 2000 down by about 2.25%. So really, for indexes like these, to see them fall by such a large amount really is quite a significant deal. And again, we already know there's a lot of uncertainty in the market, a lot of fear in the market, and that is kind of why we are seeing these drops right now. But when we tie this back into our stocks, whether it be this stock here, whether it be ATER, which we did earlier, BBIG, maybe even AMC as well, things don't look too bad, do they? You know, these are all down by 1, 2, 3%. And yeah, we are seeing stocks like BBIG, for example, down by 9-10%. We're seeing this stock here, MRIN, down by 10-11% as well. But obviously I think here there are some specific reasons for that. But obviously the market is moving in a similar way, so I'm not very concerned when we look at all of the facts. Now I want to look at the 5-day chart and have a look at the wider picture. We have been consolidating nicely over the past 5 days, and this really hasn't changed anything today. We've seen big swings in the past week, as you guys will see. We saw lows down here at the 786 mark, perhaps a little bit lower. So you saw lows in the 7s for an example, and now we're dropping from the 9s. From highs up here, most recently at the high 10s, maybe even touching the 11s. So really, it's not even too big of a drop. It's only about $1.14. But the reason why I'm particularly unconcerned with this stock is because of what we have been seeing in the past month. On the 1 month charts, you guys can see the big growth that we have been noticing with this stock. This all started, I would say, on the 22nd of September. You can see it all exploded, and we opened up on a price above $9. Now from there we had a bit of a dip, and then we ran even higher, almost touching $11 as I mentioned, and we were consolidating nicely at that level. And one thing that I said at the time with this stock, and I will definitely repeat it because I do believe it was the case, I thought it was quite risky to get in at any point there. And I was saying that from here, I was saying that from here even, and I was saying that from here. So yes, if you'd have got in there, fair enough. If you'd have sold in time, you could have made some profits. But I personally did not think it was worth risking it. And in retrospect, I do still agree with that opinion. But regardless, one thing that I said with this stock, I think whether this one is a quote-unquote short squeeze stock or not, personally I do not see it as one, by the way, but even if it is, I think what we have seen in the past few days, well, I know what we have seen is a massive spike up in price. People are inevitably going to want to take profits. And of course, whether it's a momentum play, whether it's a short squeeze play, it doesn't really matter. People are going to want to take profits either way. There's going to be some people who don't want to, or just don't have the mental strength to hold on to this one for as long as people want to see it continue to rise. And that's completely fine as well, you know. Everybody has their own profit margins in mind. Everybody's got their own profit goals in mind. So I'm not really too concerned that the stock is dropping due to potential selling. But I think what I'm trying to say is what we have been seeing in the past week or two has been immense growth. Let us not forget that. So I think we were bound to sell off at some point. I think a bit of healthy profit taking along the way isn't too much of a concern. So what happened today, in my opinion? And it's just my opinion, as I mentioned, but I think what we are seeing today is a combination of two things. I think we're seeing a combination of obviously a poor market, which is making this particular stock drop as well as many others. But I think on top of that, what we are seeing is, the stock's personal factors, which are the fact that we've seen big growth in this stock in the past week or two. I think at that point, some people are going to take profits when the price starts to dip. Some people are going to paper hands out. And, some people just do not want to hold the stock anymore for whatever reason. I personally think that we are seeing a combination of the two factors, which is leaving us in a position where we are right now today. So let's have a look at the indicators and I'll give my opinions going forwards. We're going to start out here, by the way, on the 1-day chart. You can see the motion is clearly downwards. We're sat on a moving average of 950. Yes, it's higher than where we are right now. It was bound to be because it is a lagging indicator. As you would expect with that big drop towards the end of the day, we are coming bearish on the MACD, and even down here on the RSI, we're coming very low at 29, so that's only 9 points away from being technically oversold. We can see on the 5-day chart, when we zoom out to that, we are sat on a moving average of 955, I believe it is, which again is higher than where we are right now, but once more, lagging indicator, it needs time to catch up, fair enough. Down here we are seeing a MACD trend negative ever so slightly, but honestly quite neutral as well, so nothing really too worrying. And down here we're seeing an RSI figure of 34, so again it was a bit lower than that earlier in the week, but what we are seeing now is 34, which is a fairly level part. Yes, it is a little bit close to oversold, but there is still quite a way to go as well, so it's not, technically oversold. We have a few points to go before this would be considered oversold, which is fine. On the 1 month chart, you can see the motions that we have noticed. We have been seeing a moving average dropping most recently, and now it is coming back up. Again, this is a 50-day moving average this time, so it tracks the past 50-day period, and it is going to need a long time to catch up, so it's always going to be lower or higher than where we are, depending on the circumstances, most likely. And when we zoom out to this MACD trend over here, we were very bullish, but now we are seeing a little bit of a bearish come in. As you would expect, and again, I would have expected this, I still am expecting this. We saw a massive spike up in price. Even if this one goes a little bit higher, even if it does go a lot higher, which is definitely possible, because when we zoom out to the 1 year chart, we have seen this one go as high as $25. So even if this one is to go higher, I think that's fine to see a little bit of a drop. We do need some drops on the way up to make it a bit more healthy growth, in my opinion. If it goes down, I think that's completely acceptable as well, but I'll talk about that in just a moment. On the RSI, we're sat at 62, so again, only about 12 points away from being neutral, so nothing to worry about there either. And for the volume that we are seeing today over here is apparently 6.29 million. So that's the figures that we are seeing over here on the technicals. What I want to focus on now is a few things going forwards based on my opinion. So as I have said about 3 times throughout the video, but I am going to say it again, all just my opinion, not financial advice, just what I personally believe. I have 2 approaches to this stock. The first one is a little bit more negative, and I have spoken about this one in the past. I'm not trying to hate on the stock. You guys will know I try to be as bullish as possible, but I think it gets to a point where just being overly bullish. I think here there is potential. I don't really see it as a short squeeze stock, but I do think it could definitely be a momentum stock going forwards. I think we have that potential to go higher, as we have seen in the past. This stock does have that potential to move up past 10, 15, 20, even $25 potentially. So I'm not saying it cannot happen, but I think honestly on the way we could do with a few small sell-offs, give people opportunities to buy the dip if they so wish, give people to take profits as well if they so wish too. But overall, I think this one could go either way right now. I think with MRIN, I was a bit apprehensive initially at buying this one, simply due to the fact that it had such a massive spike, and oftentimes when we have big spikes like this, there is potentially an opportunity to get in at a much lower price. Even if it does continue to go higher after that, we have the initial buy-in which takes us up. I will actually draw this out. So you have the initial buy-in that takes us up, then we have a little bit of a drop as you would expect, and then we start to go back more on a normal stage. If we can get a line drawing, I will show you what I mean by that based on my opinion. So I think what we are seeing with MRIN, obviously we've shot up like that. I think we could see a potential dip which may take us to here, and then we may see bounces back upwards, or potentially we may start to see a drop downwards. But I think either way, where we are right now, there could be a potential to get the stock lower if people wanted to at some point if it does continue to drop. I think 1 day of a drop of about 10.86% isn't anything to worry about too much in my opinion. I think going forwards, we could see a bit more of a drop, but it's not necessarily too concerning. Would I buy this stock right now? Of course, I personally would not. Even if I was looking to buy this one, I would wait a day or two just to see if it does start to neutralize and consolidate, or even if it does start to drop lower, or even if it starts to grow even higher. I would be happy to miss out on a couple of those profits or a small portion of those profits to have a more secure position than lose money. Just my personal opinion, guys, not financial advice. Tell me your opinions down below. So thank you for watching through till the end, but let me tell you about our Discord. So on your screen you will be seeing the N2S Finance Discord. Obviously it is split into multiple sections. Basically at the top we have updates from me and all that kind of good stuff. If you scroll down a bit further we have the main sections where we focus on cryptos, SPACs and other hot stocks including penny stocks, even stable growth stocks as well, and we even have a special AMC GME chat. If you scroll down you can see some research and DD from the community. We also have funny memes and you can see actual contributions from members down here. And again, if you do join us, it is completely free, link is down below. But if you do want to become a Patreon, you will actually get a pink sticker which will be displayed on your name. So your name will come up in pink as mine comes up in red down here, and that will show that you are a Patreon. But other than that guys, you can join completely for free down below. You do not have to pay anything if you do not want to. Thank you for watching, see you soon.